What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me. I wanted to make a quick video to talk about something that I've gotten a lot of questions about recently, and that is kids nutrition. Now, I'm not a kids nutrition specialist or anything along those lines, but I do have a 2-year-old. And I get asked from clients and other people that I know alike, basically, what do you feed your kids? What is good? What is bad? Because everyone wants to feed their kids the best things possible, honestly. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that real quick and talk about my experience, talk about what I do, whether that's right or wrong, whether a nutritionist likes it or not, couldn't really care less. I just want to let you know what I do, so maybe it puts you guys at ease for where my head's at as a personal trainer and someone who deals with health and fitness on a daily basis. Now, the biggest advice I can give you, especially if you have like a toddler who's like 4 or 5 and under, is to just not really stress about it. Not to not care about it, but to not stress about it. To put into context, my 2-year-old, she's 2 years and 6 months. Yeah, she's 2.5 months right now, and she only weighs 24 pounds. All right. Whereas my sister's son is a year and like a month and weighs like 37 pounds. And I know there's a lot of kids and weights all in between there. All right, so we've got the low end of the spectrum and the tall end of the spectrum. Now, my sister feeds her son tons of good food, tons of great food, literally like gourmet chef style. When she cooks for him, it's like she's cooking for the South Korean army. It's incredible how much food that she has to make to feed this big boy. You know, but on the flip side, my daughter, sometimes she'll go to restaurants and she'll eat a lot of food. Sometimes she won't eat a lot of food. And it just kind of is what it is. The one thing that the doctor said once that helped me the most is that kids will eat what they want to eat. When they're hungry, they will eat. When they're not hungry, they won't eat. That kind of helped me a lot because I was getting nervous for her nutrition because she wasn't eating that much. And that being said, my goal is to pump her with calories. I want her to drink a lot of milk. I want her to eat, Nutri-Grain bars. I want her to drink those little applesauce pouches. I want her to, eat waffles and eggs and all sorts of different things. I want her to eat. Now, I try to keep things nutritious for her. I try to give her eggs and toast and potatoes, and I'll try to do like some apple sauces here and there. She loves bananas, so we have a lot of fruits. Sometimes she'll eat broccoli and things along those lines with chicken and with turkey and beef, and she'll enjoy those things. But if she wants a bowl of macaroni, because that's what she's gonna eat, guess what she's eating? A bowl of macaroni. Okay, and guess what? I get the cheapest one I can find. I don't even go to Kraft. I go to like H-E-B, whatever the crap brand it is. And when it's 68 cents, I wait till it goes to 30 cents to get it as cheap as possible. And guess what? She's healthy. She's fine. She's lovable. She's so active. And all other adjectives to describe the most beautiful, healthy, excited, lovable kid you will ever meet, But there's going to be others out there. You're going to go look on Instagram. You're going to see other people that are like, you got to feed them these types of oats. You got to feed them these organic, cage-free, glittered with gold eggs, blah, blah, blah. You got to eat them chicken that walked around and were sit on a throne and were fed other chickens. And so you got all this crazy stuff that it's like, if you don't feed them all this good stuff, then you're a horrible parent. And that's just not true. Now, when your kid starts getting older, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The most important thing, in my opinion, because I watched it happen to me, I watched it happen to my sister, and I've watched it happen to other kids, is to keep them active. Yes, your garbage food, your fast food, those things, if you keep pumping your kids with that, you're gonna have a problem. But most of these parents will go and give them a lot of fast food and a lot of garbage food, and then plop them on the couch and watch TV and go off and do their own thing. You have got to keep your kids active. My daughter, she eats dino nuggies. She eats a lot of beef. She eats a lot of macaroni and cheese, a lot of pasta, a lot of Nutri-Grain bars, a lot of things that have a decent amount of sugar content, a decent amount of carbs in them, you know? So if she just sits there and does nothing, eventually the weight and the calories will catch up with her. Now, she's 2 years old, so let's always keep that in mind. But if you're doing this with a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, nothing makes me sadder than looking at these obese children that don't have a choice in what they do. They don't know any better. They only know what their parents are teaching them. So you have these little obese children that are destroying their health, and they don't know any better. So you know better. So find just good things for them to eat. If you're on a fitness plan and you're making chicken and rice, whatever, find good things to eat. Maybe they don't like it the way you're doing it, so give them a sauce, a ketchup, a fat-free ranch dressing, a little honey mustard, whatever it is. Find a dressing that maybe they like, they can dip it in. Maybe you can bread their chicken and have broccoli. Maybe you find ways to do it. You don't have to be psychotic about it. You don't have to go overboard with it. You just have to be kind of intentional. And if you understand that they're eating a certain amount or they like certain foods and it's the one thing they can eat, and let's say it is breaded chicken nuggets, let's say it's a little burger, let's say it's whatever it is, you're going to have to keep them active to counterbalance the calories they're taking in. But at this stage of the game, they're children. They just want to enjoy. They just want to have fun. They just want to learn the world. They just want to learn these things. So don't beat yourself over the head if you're in a position, let's just say financially, where you cannot afford all this organic and all like the high top tier like milks that are like $6-7 a gallon. Like, what is going, like, what really? If you can't afford that, it's okay. I go and I buy my daughter the $3 a gallon milk, and guess what? She's just fine. She's fine. She goes to the doctor every 6 months. She's as healthy as can be. Everything's good. So feed them real food is the best thing, the best advice I can give you. If they like chicken nuggets, if they like macaroni and cheese, if they like certain little things like that, that's okay. No big deal. But try to give them real grilled chicken. Try to give them rice. Try to give them ground beef. Try to give them ground turkey. Try to give them potatoes. Try to give them fruits. Try to give them veggies. Try to give them real things, and find these little mixed mushes of stuff that they will enjoy. And maybe they want all that with some like melted cheese on top of it. I don't know, whatever it is, but just things like that, guys. Don't overthink it. Now, this may have not been helpful to anybody. This may have been helpful to a lot, may have been helpful to some. If you already got your plan with your kids, then that's great. But you know what? My little girl, she just does her own thing. She likes to eat sometimes. She likes to eat. She doesn't like to eat other times. I'm not going to force feed her anything. I just want to kind of give her enough food to keep her healthy, to keep her system going, because she's just so full of life. She's so full of love. She just wants to do things. So really stopping to eat sometimes is something she doesn't love. So really, that's it. There's no more advice. There's no, here's the specific foods you got to eat, or the kids only got to eat organic. Because let me tell you something. If you say, look, you're not getting any sodas, period. You're never drinking sodas ever. Trying them ever. You're never doing ice cream ever. You're only going to eat blah, blah, blah. Guess what they're going to do the first time they go on a party on their own? They're going to try soda. They might even fall in love with soda because you kept them from it for so long. Whether it's a rebellious type thing or whether they just love the influx of sugar. I don't know. They're going to maybe love ice cream because you kept it from them. They're going to be intrigued to try it because you kept them from them. So when you keep them from something, you don't teach them healthy habits. You teach them don't touch that, so they want to touch it. That's what you teach them. That's what you train them to do. This really isn't that intense or that hard to figure out. Think of yourself when you were rebellious. Why were you rebellious? You were rebellious against something else. You weren't just rebellious because it was fun. You were rebellious for a reason, whether it was to prove something to someone, to piss off your parents, whatever it was, you were rebellious for a reason. So it's the same thing with the food on a smaller extent. If they want to have a soda, I mean, obviously a 2-year-old's not going to have a soda, but if you have a 4, 5, 6-year-old that wants a soda, give them a sip of it. Get them used to maybe sugar, the no zero sugar soda. Get them familiar with these things. Let them know, oh, you like this? Here's this. We have this in moderation. We don't do this all the time. This isn't healthy to do all the time. Teach them habits. Don't just teach them you're not doing this. Teach them healthy habits. That's the best gift you can give to your kid when it comes to their nutritional future, if you will, because when they get older, they have to figure out finances and they have to figure, okay, how do I budget for my groceries and stuff? They will only know how to budget for healthy foods, for good foods that provide their good, well-balanced nutrition. They will understand because they saw mom and dad go and train and eat healthy. That's the way to live. So that's the best advice I can give for you and your kids' nutrition. It may not be what you want to hear, but that's how I go about it. So anyway, y'all, thank you so much for joining me for this video, and I will see you in the next one.